During my research, I came across this village, a village so isolated, away from society, away from technology, away from everywhere. When I was coming in to investigate the behaviors, the culture, the habitat, everything about this village, I came expecting the unknown. But when I arrived, I found something unexpected. As I walked through this village, invited by a person who had told me about it and the abnormalities within it, he didn't tell me exactly what was abnormal. I assumed it would be something taboo-like, something unusual compared to other villages. But when I arrived, I didn't know the abnormalities would be physical. As I entered and walked through, the villagers came out of their homes, and I saw them emerging with irregular body parts, but only one specific feature on each person was abnormal. For example, one woman had a leg that was long, bent, and curved. It had the features of a foot, but it was elongated and arched unnaturally. Another man also had a leg that was very long, arched upward and curved as well. When I came in, the villagers saw me. Word spread quickly, and they all started coming out since it was early in the morning when I visited. Many of them appeared, and all I could see were these abnormalities, these different features. Everything else in each villager's body was normal. Only a certain part was abnormal. About 98% of their bodies were fine, but that remaining 2% was abnormal, limited to a specific region. It wasn't spread everywhere. Another person could have had 90% of their body normal, with the other 10% at one specific region, abnormal, long, curved, simply not normal, period. I took out my notebook and began observing them carefully. I studied their features, drew sketches, and categorized them. I conducted deep investigations. I watched how these body parts functioned in their daily lives, and they served no purpose, no function. They were more of an inconvenience, something I could not understand. I saw two villagers struggling greatly. This seemed to be a lineage past trait. I even spoke to one of the oldest people there with the help of a translator. He said these features had existed for as long as he could remember, almost 400 years. He said that even before his memory, there were paintings on the nearby caves depicting these features. Of course, I would have to determine the age of those drawings through radioactive carbon dating, but it was of interest. I would need to call someone for that. But the oldest villager stated that these abnormal limbs had existed for a very, very long time, nearly 400 plus years, and that children continued to inherit them. It appeared to be a specific gene passed down, causing offspring to grow these abnormalities as well. After staying there for several weeks, studying them, categorizing them, making sketches, gathering names, my time there ended. I returned home, boarded a flight, and for the last 3 weeks I have been pondering this phenomenon. Something very scary, but also something strangely beautiful emerged from this. When I counted the number of individuals, I counted nearly 300 villagers with specific abnormalities. I also noticed that certain features connected. So I started drawing them abstractly. I began noticing something. When you connect these villagers together, when you remove their bodies and focus only on the shapes, something formed. This is how it happened. When I drew just the arches and stick-level figures of these individuals across paper, I started to see connections showing how these villagers, if arranged together, could create something. But here's the scary thing. When I connected them, a very ugly, deformed figure started to appear. I was so startled that I stopped. I couldn't believe how a combination of these shapes produced such a feature. Of course, I put this into an advanced coding line. I sent it to my friend, a Harvard University professor specializing in pattern recognition. I sent him a sketch of the stick figures without telling him they were real. 2 days later, he sent a reply, startled by what he saw. He showed me that the optimum, most accurate configuration revealed a face, a disfigured, terrifying face that could scare anything that crossed its path. My colleague asked, "Where did you get this figure? Did you create this? Are you trying to make something funny?" I told him, "Oh yeah, I'm just trying to create something funny. Thanks for analyzing it." But inside I pondered, why? How? Why would evolution create a village like this? Why would natural selection favor long limbs that connect to form a disfigured face? Why a face? A face is the most terror-inducing form we know. It conveys emotion, disgust, happiness, unhappiness, terror. When a person sees a face, the eyes tell everything. So what was evolution planning? Why would this enormous face be necessary? Was it meant to scare a predator of massive size? At human scale, a scary face is seen at eye level. But there is no natural predator that large. Does this mean it is not human? Is evolution preparing for something we have not prepared for? Are we unaware of a danger that evolution is aware of? That thought terrifies me. What I realized is that even when humans are unaware of their environment, evolution is not. Evolution developed and refined this village to create formations of limbs that, when connected, produce a massive, disfigured face. Something capable of scaring something unknown, something not yet encountered. What are we waiting for? Ring, ring, ring. I picked up the phone. It was one of my colleagues, someone I had been sharing information with, though only about the village. He told me he received word that there are other local villages nearby with abnormal limbs as well. This scares me. The fact that this entire region has villages with abnormal limbs. Are they all part of a larger connection? What is the purpose? What are we trying to fend off? As far as I know, to scare a predator away, you only need to frighten it enough that it never comes back again. Just like how butterfly wings mimic snakes to deter predators. Are these villages forming a universal connection, together creating something massive, mimicking something terrifying, to scare something very large? What is coming? What are we expecting? This terrifies me, but there is only one thing I know for sure. I must find these other villages. I must discover the truth, and I must prepare.